Alright, everyone. Welcome back to the Omnicast. Real quick, let's just get into a couple things here before I get into talking about my predictions for WWE's pay-per-views or PLEs, those premium live events, today and tomorrow. Let me talk briefly about the politics end of this podcast. So, I will be going back to talking about politics more, at least by before the next pay-per-view or PLE of WWE. I'm going to try and figure out the best way of doing this more regularly. I need to try and figure out how to expand this podcast and the amount of room that's on it. That's part of why I don't do weekly episodes right now, is there's only so much room on here and I don't want to delete any episodes. So it's quite annoying that there's a limited storage space that they give you, but this podcast feature through Spreaker allows you to disseminate through numerous sources. Like, it automatically posts for you, which is why I've stayed with this service. I hate the limited space. I'm thinking about primarily, except for special episodes, just kind of maybe using the Patreon end more. That Omni Access, I'm thinking about maybe just doing Omni Access a lot more. I haven't done one of those in a little bit. I want to do more podcasts. It's just haven't had time here as of late. And part of that is I reluctantly have decided to run for office again. I told my daughter last year, after I didn't succeed in running for city council, I told my daughter last year that I would not run for a few more years. I wouldn't run in 2 years. I told her I'd wait 4. But problem is, some things have happened in the political world that have compelled me to at least put my name in as a write-in candidate. So running as a write-in candidate is not as taxing as trying to get on the ballot and all that good stuff. I mean, I really should be out campaigning. I mean, I really would like to win this race, because I think that the person I'm running against, I think that he'd be a terrible choice for state legislature. I'm not going to get into all that because, there's some reasons why I can't. But let's just put it this way. I felt compelled to run because there was a nastiness to this campaign that I wanted to fight back against, and I wanted to give people an alternative, and there wasn't an alternative otherwise. Anyways, enough of that. So, getting into, let's talk about WWE. Top 3 moments since SummerSlam. This is going to be pretty easy for me. So, number one, I didn't really list this in order of importance because I think they're all equally good. At SummerSlam alone, we had the return of Bayley, Io Shirai, who's now known as Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Io herself was kind of teetering on the edge of not signing with WWE again. She almost didn't re-sign. She was a great NXT Women's Champion. Very fun to watch. So I was really stoked to hear her music. But first I popped for Bayley, then I popped for Dakota Kai, who Dakota Kai was actually released by WWE earlier this year. So the fact that she was brought back was excellent because Dakota is an amazing, amazing wrestler. And of course Bayley obviously coming back was significant too. So pop for all 3 of them. They have this group called Damage Control. Been really good storytelling here, and you could tell they're prepping for at least one more Bayley versus Bianca match. It's just going to be good. I'll get into more of that here in a moment. But with after that, we've seen also the return of Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, I was a big mark for him when he was in NXT. Was saddened to see that he was pretty much buried on the main roster, and then he was released. So when he and Scarlett both returned, I was absolutely ecstatic. And he's been kind of inserted into the storyline with Drew and Roman, which is my next favorite thing. The third of the top 3. Probably you can even say the number 1 top story of WWE since SummerSlam. This whole storyline between Drew and Roman has been really excellently executed. They had this great thing on SmackDown, which I'll get into here in a second. But this whole storyline has been excellent, and I just think WWE has been on fire, especially since Triple H took over. Because that's one of the other significant things is that Triple H is in control. I know I mentioned it on the previous episode, but still, has been significant change. I was enjoying McMahon's, vision there. I was never someone who bitched all the time about McMahon. Granted, I had my problems with some of the stuff he did, but at the same time, I wasn't one of the people who complained about him all the time. So I still enjoyed a lot of his stuff, but right now it's been a nice little fresh start with Triple H. So, anyways, let's get into the predictions finally here. Let's talk first about Clash at the Castle, because that's today. Tomorrow is Worlds Collide. So Clash at the Castle, we are going to see what's slated to be 6 matches. Let's just get right into it here. So starting here on the bottom, I think that the Mysterios are going to lose to Judgment Day in their, no holds barred 6-man tag. I think it is no holds barred if I remember right. The reason why I think that that's going to be the outcome is I believe that Dominic is going to turn on Ray, which will lead to an interesting feud. Could even lead to like an injury angle where Ray is taken out of commission. Dominic joins Judgment Day or so. Like, I don't know. I do believe either way Judgment Day is going to win, and I think it's going to be a product of Dominic turning heel. Maybe even a Dominic versus Edge feud would be interesting. That's probably where they're going to go with that. But just they've been really planting the seeds here throughout, hinting that Dominic's going to turn. If Dominic doesn't turn, then the Mysterios and Edge will win. But that's just where my guess is with that. For the Intercontinental title, I do believe strongly that Gunther is going to retain over Sheamus. Gunther's just been a great Intercontinental champion. There was a report that when McMahon was still in control, that they were souring on Gunther, but they weren't booking him like that. He's just really good in the ring. So I don't know. You gotta take everything that you hear from the dirt sheets with a grain of salt, because a lot of it's just utter bullshit. But either way, Gunther, I think, and Sheamus will have great match. Neither one of them can put on a bad match. So this will be a good one, but Gunther's going to retain. Riddle will lose to Seth Rollins, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of people predicting that Riddle's going to win because of the emotional aspect of this, but Seth hasn't had a significant pay-per-view win in a long time. I don't think he's won a single match in a pay-per-view. It was a year and a half or so. It's been a minute. So he's due for a win, and I think him getting under the skin of Riddle is going to work to his benefit. They want you to think that, Riddle's going to kick his ass, it's going to be over, but no, I think Seth's going to pick this victory up, and that will be, either way, it'll be good, because both of them put on amazing matches, but I think Seth's winning this, walking away with that. Also, we have another 6-person tag. It is on the women's side now. I believe that Damage Control is actually going to defeat Team Bianca here. We just call it that, the team of Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. Now, this is going to be an awesome match. Really good chance, obviously, still that Team Bianca wins, but Damage Control, they're still kind of early in their exposure here on the main roster, trying to book them as a great unit. So I think that it would do a lot of good to have Damage Control win. Maybe even have Sasha Banks, maybe even have Sasha and Naomi return, kind of providing a distraction, having them turn heel, maybe, I don't know. But, or you could see Damage Control winning and then Sasha and Naomi return. A lot of people are hoping that Sasha and Naomi will return. The part of me also doesn't think they will. Maybe they're saving that for Raw or SmackDown. But that's just where my thoughts are, that Damage Control is going to win this. I do believe Liv Morgan will retain over Shayna Baszler in the SmackDown Women's title match, but since Ronda Rousey was quote-unquote reinstated, Shayna Baszler, of course, Ronda was saying, you used to be a beast talking to Shayna. Shayna's definitely going to tear Liv apart, but I believe Liv is going to retain, and we're going to see them kind of setting the stage for maybe a triple threat match between the three of them. That should be cool. I would definitely love to see a Shayna versus Ronda feud. That would be awesome. But Liv will retain, and I don't know if there will be shenanigans with it, probably, but either way, that's what's going to happen. That's who I think's going to win, is Liv. All right, and I'm fine with that, by the way. I'm fine with Shayna winning. I'd love to see Shayna win, but anyways, main event time. So there is a lot of signs pointing to Drew. I can't talk to Drew McIntyre winning. However, if you go purely by the last laugh rule, SmackDown, Drew McIntyre, spoiled the celebration of Roman's 2-year mark of his reign, and he basically proclaimed he's going to kick Roman's head off. He's been really strong-worded here. I think it's going to look like Drew's going to win, and then you're probably going to have Austin Theory trying to cash in again, and you might have some other sign. You could probably even have Karrion Kross intervening. You could turn this into a fatal 4-way with Karrion Kross somehow. It's either way, there's going to be some massive issues in this match, but at the end of it, I think Roman Reigns is retaining, and that's just where I'm going with it. I would love to see Roman Reigns hold on to this title at least until WrestleMania 40, and I say at least because there's a part of me that wants him to beat Bruno Sammartino's record. I do. There's a part of me that wants him to do that. And I know that would require him to hold on to the title for another 5 years, but I'm still fine with that because I'm enjoying his reign. So they've booked it perfectly so far. Yet again, most of that credit has to go to McMahon. Vince had the vision and has executed it, and Triple H has only carried on, and Roman's just still an awesome heel champion. Believable at that. I think he's actually the longest reigning heel champion ever. Now that I think about it, I think that's the case because all the other long reigns belong to babyfaces. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Roman is the longest reigning heel champion, ever. Seriously. Anyways, that's it for Clash at the Castle. I do think there was a slight possibility that Bray Wyatt returns at Clash. Then again, he had also, because he's in Cardiff reportedly, but he was also in Houston on location for WrestleMania. He does this every now and then. I think he likes to make you think he's going to come back. And WWE, I think, kind of plays along a little bit too. But either way, if there's any returns, it's going to either be Sasha and Naomi or The Fiend. I'm kind of inclined to say that it won't be both. So, all right, Worlds Collide. Let's talk about this. There's 5 matches scheduled. I believe that for the North American Championship, Carmella Hayes will retain over Ricochet. This is going to be an excellent match, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to give the North American title back to Ricochet. This is just, continuing with the theme of Worlds Collide, so saying the main roster, like SmackDown and Raw, both invading NXT as well as NXT UK. Just kind of a cool Survivor Series-like feel. Unique in its own right because you have 4 brands all attacking each other, so really cool. At least 3 brands attacking one. So we also see... So yeah, I think Carmella Hayes is going to retain there. Cool segment between Hayes and Ricochet on NXT this past week, by the way. So, got me pretty excited for that. A lot of people have been hoping for this match, and it's going to happen. Number 4 for this, this is just counting up here. So we're going to see the NXT Women's Tag Team titles on the line. I think Kaden Carter and Katana Chance are going to retain over Doudrop and Nikki Ash. Doudrop and Ash are from Raw, obviously. So this is, I think, if you are predicting that Ash and Doudrop are going to win, you are just kind of hopeless in making predictions because I don't think there's any world wherein you see that outcome. You just don't. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are very over with a lot of the crowd, and they're going to retain. It's going to be a good match, but they're going to retain. So you are going to see the tag team titles, both the NXT and NXT UK tag team titles, being defended in I think it's the Fatal 4-Way, where the Creed Brothers, Gallus, Briggs and Jensen, and Pretty Deadly are all competing. I think that Creed Brothers will unify the tag titles and, of course, defeat the other 3 teams. This is going to be an excellent match. Looking forward to it. Pretty Deadly. I've been into them. Really good heel tag team, but also cowardly. Gallus is always pretty cool. I enjoyed them when I briefly watched NXT UK. And then, of course, Briggs and Jensen, good tag team, but they're not winning this match. Creed Brothers just, unless Creed Brothers get called up, they're winning this match. Just saying. Mandy Rose, I think, will retain and unify the women's titles from both NXT and NXT UK. Obviously defeating Blair Davenport and Miko Satomura. Miko is the NXT UK Women's Champion. There's no, she's a legend in the industry. She's been involved since back in the WCW days. But Mandy Rose is on a historic run, and unless she gets called up, returned to the main roster, she's winning. If she doesn't win, though, because if she gets called up, I believe Blair Davenport wins, unifying the titles, which would be significant for her, pretty cool for her, but I just don't see it happening yet. So, and then finally, the main event, I believe Braun Breaker will obviously defeat Tyler Bate, unifying the NXT and NXT UK NXT UK championships. I'm going to be sad to see the NXT UK title go away. It's the most beautiful title in the industry right now. So I'm going to be really sad to see it go. But they're going to unify them. Hopefully they kind of change the look of the NXT title after they unify them. That'd be pretty cool. But either way, those are my predictions. It's going to be a good set of shows. Just wanted to get them out to you. Hope you enjoy, and we'll catch you later.